One of the things that's super fun about my coach, my mindset and business coach, Stephanie, one thing that's super fun is she does daily accountability with me. So in the morning, she asks what my plan is for the day. And then at the end, she's asked, hey, how'd it go? And depending on how busy she is or what have you, she might check in a little bit throughout the day, but within that daily accountability, she asks me great questions, and I'm bouncing between the text that I had with her and this intro. So I apologize for the spotty intro, but she asked me such a great question, and I'm going to tell you what that question is and how it helped pull me forward. Super good.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Yeah, so Coach Stephanie had asked me, hey, good morning, checking in, what is the plan for today, this week? And this was on Monday morning. And so I had written, today, edit the sizzle reel promo for a recovery house. It's pro bono work that I'm doing for this recovery house. And I've got a couple of days work to do on it. And a couple of days legit work. So I'd interviewed a bunch of people at this recovery house, and they're going to use it as a sizzle reel to get donations and stuff. And so I had super fun doing these interviews, but you've got to whittle down an hour or two of interviews into, a 3-minute sizzle reel and then a 3.5-minute sizzle reel. But that was actually weighing me down a little bit because I'm feeling so much pressure to gain ground every day on my business, on my influence army and what I'm building and getting on podcasts, and it has to happen sooner. So I'm like, pro bono work, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? And then I had on there, get 4 pod pitch invites out, and don't overthink it. I still am having a tendency to overthink each invite. They're definitely going out quicker, but I want to get them out quicker. And then the next thing was pencil out the stages of my influence army. So I have my influence army community that I'm helping go on an influence tour, helping them guest speak on podcasts, which is, round 1. Then we'll get them on other shows, YouTube channels, ultimately getting them, to have partnerships and share email lists and do all these kinds of things. But I need to pencil out the stages of that. So stage 0 is perhaps you've never spoken on a podcast, or maybe 1 or 2 podcasts randomly. So maybe you've spoken on 1, probably none. To the end stages, we want to get you so you're consistently speaking on 2 per week. And of course, how would your business and life change if that was to happen for you? And then you've got all the stages in between. So it's like the fundamentals, prep for launch, and then there's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 stages within that. And the power in listing out those stages is that your community, your members can clearly see the path and what they need to do as you give them exercises and trainings and all these sorts of things. It's like, here's what you need to do for stage 1. Here's what you need to do for stage 2. Here's what you need to do for stage 3, 4, and 5. So I wanted to start penciling those out and get the stages good enough. And again, I'm all about good enough is more than good enough. Like, the best is the enemy of more than good enough. Like, get it good enough, get it to market. And so for the week, I want to get 20 to 40 invites out. I want to get the stages good enough, and I want to bring people in. I want to get the stages good enough so I can start bringing people in and start working on my partnership offer email, my friends, family email, what's my offer in general, those emails and those offers to bring people in. And right, that's a good list. That's good stuff. And if I can get a bit of that done, boy, what an amazing week. And so she says, well, this is a great list. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the week? And I said, well, I do feel good about it, but I do feel apprehensive though. Like, put my head down, trust, let's get some stuff done. And apprehensive in that it's going to be delayed gratification. So I've got to trust and hopefully focus and let go expectations and attachments of the anticipated outcomes, which can be good or bad at any moment, sloshing through my brain. So I've got to trust and do, I guess. That's what I texted her back, right? Which is all true. And so this is where the great questions that she asked me came in. She said, why will this be worth it no matter what the outcome is? Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. And then she said, what will you learn and how will you grow? And that's so powerful, because then it's not these shiny object expectations that I'm shooting for, but it's more internal goodness. It's more internal motivation. I've talked about that on a previous episode. And it's, to serve and to grow and all this. So it took me a while. I was like, that's a great question, but I got to think about it. And so I literally I couldn't respond on the fly. I finished what I was doing, sending out an email or something, or actually I was working on the video. So I stopped working on the video when I had finished a section that I was working on. And I took, 5 or 10 minutes and meditated and thought about it. And this is what I ended up writing. This will be worth it no matter what the outcome is, because, well, I'll have stories to tell. I'll have learnings to teach my students and people. I'll have stories to tell, which is very important. Stories, you need stories when you're selling, when you're doing your thing on podcasts or bringing people into your funnels and things or selling them. You got to have stories to tell. So it'll give me tons of stories. It's going to give me learnings to teach my students and people who want to know how this stuff works. So in other words, I'll be learning a lot myself so I can share it with those who want to know how this stuff works, so I can take some upfront pain and speed up the process for them. And I'll get clarity on some things, I suppose. And clarity is great. And the more I get focused, the more I learn, the more I try stuff, the more I execute, the more I test and try, the more I get clarity. So I love that. It will be nice to check some things off the box. Always good, right? I can't wait to have that video done. And I'm getting close. I've been powering through it yesterday and today. And then it'll help me get to the next steps, right? And all of our journeys in the entrepreneurial journey as we're building things and trying things and executing, we get to the next steps. So it'll be fun to complete this round of the steps and get to the next steps. And then question 2 was, what will I learn and how will I grow? I'll get more clarity on what works and what doesn't on my email invite, on my pod pitch email invites. I'll learn what's working and what's not working. I'll get good data on who is responding to invites and who isn't, like categories of podcasts, size of podcasts, and etc. So those will be great learnings. And last couple of things, I'll learn more if I like this stuff, I suppose, as I complete required tasks and phases of what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, it's so funny reading this text. And maybe Coops, my son, can learn something from it too. And I ended with, I'm sure there's much, much more. And she gave me a full-hearted yes in reply. So there you go. And that was amazing. It helped me stay focused, pull through the day, get a bunch of good stuff done. It's helped me with today's tasks and getting stuff done. And it was very empowering to think in those terms of why will this be worth it no matter what the outcome is, and what will you learn and grow, and how will you grow? So ask those questions yourself as you're maybe stuck a little bit in the mire of some tasks you've got to do for building your business, and hopefully it'll help pull you forward. All right, love to all.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.